Hello, friends. Now everyone is talking about Corona. There is a lot of wrong information, wrong things going on. And right now, the important thing is about the curfew. Yesterday, there was a Janata curfew in India. By the way, I am Dr. T. Charles John Bhaskar. I am an independent scientist. I run a company. I am also a social activist and a social worker. Many of you may be knowing me. See, the curfew is a welcome measure by our Honorable Prime Minister. Yes, social distancing is very important today, and people should not be roaming around. Yes, essential services are important. Right now, my wife is not here. Even I have become a senior citizen now recently, and going out and eating becomes necessary. So essential services have to be there. There is no doubt. Medicine should be available. And in fact, there are a lot of things that can be done, which I will talk later. But what is required is 130 crores. That is the number of Indians. They all need to be restrained, which is a very difficult task. I am only requesting the authorities, including the Prime Minister, to take note of what I am going to say. China was responsible, Wuhan in particular. They brought all the problems to the world, no doubt about it, but they handled also in a good way. Now, there are no recent new corona incidents. That's what I was told. I read about it. And they worked on a war footing. Even did the screening and door-to-door campaigns, door-to-door checking up, all these things they have done in war footing. Thanks to those doctors and the volunteers, everyone. Here also we need to have a civilian task force doing all that. But it should be organized. Before going for all that in depth, what are the problems in the curfew? Holding these many masses is very well known. Some can work at home, right? The IT companies might give you a laptop and ask you to work. And many of us can work at home for sure on the computer. It is not that every work can be done that way. If I have to work in the laboratory, yes, I can seclude myself into the laboratory and I can work. There's no problem. Suppose someone is working in production, he cannot do it at home. He has to go. Certain productions can stop. Yes, you can see. Right, many things have to stop. There is an economic loss. But all these economic loss, everything, what is the origin? Did any Chinese come into our country and started spreading? No. Then did it spread through Bangladesh? No. Not Pakistan, not Sri Lanka. If you analyze carefully, it is our own Indians who had settled abroad or who went abroad for studies, who went for whatever reason. I am not saying that someone went as tourist and got scared and came back. Yes, it is fine. It's understandable. But there are many who had gone for dollars and euros and petrodollars. They lived there comfortably. At times, many of the Indians I know who had lived abroad, NRIs, they talk ill of India. I am not talking about everyone. I am very sorry about it. I have heard India is dirty, India doesn't give opportunity, India is not fit. That's why I'm here. I'm an Australian, I'm an American. This is the way they had been talking when something strikes. or someone bombs, some terrorist attack, or a corona, Ebola, then they think India is a safe place. They all come running here and they cry. Sitting there in Iran, a group cries in WhatsApp. Indian government should bring us back. What are you doing? I know every government, whichever government, present or past, they've all done their work in sending the plane, bringing the people whenever there was a distress. It is a noble gesture. But when they were there in that country and they have taken that place and they take the food from there, they get all the comfort, but they don't want to suffer with them and tackle the things along with their other people there. They want to come back. Whichever is convenient, they want to do. I'm talking about them. These people who came to India in the flight, they only carry. Even the recent one girl who came to Chennai, who tested positive and all that, she was there abroad. She was a doctor. There were many people like that. A person coming from Saudi Arabia, an elderly man died. None of the corona cases originated in India or in Indians who have been living in India and who have not moved out of this country. It has never struck. It never came de novo. De novo means out of nothing. This is very, very important. And when they arrived, what was done initially was little not very scientific, I would say. There is a mistake on our part. We give a form to them asking them whether they have fever, they have cough or any illness, and if they say no, just we let them scot free. This is a major problem. And when we know that incubation period is 14 days, instead of quarantining them, we have left them. And someone went to Bangalore, and from there someone came by train, and then by Ola she reached home and stayed at a relative's place and all that, all these things. And she is positive. How many people she has spread? We don't know. This is because of these people. They are very much Indians. I have nothing against them. We should save them. No doubt. No life should be lost. I am talking about it very, very, very clearly. No life should be lost. Life is precious. But these people should have acted reasonably. Even if they had little symptom, I know many people hide it. Let me go and stay at home, they think. Why many people don't want to go to quarantine? The government authority and the quarantine people should sometime talk to our people through the mass media. What is quarantine? Olden days, during many, many outbreaks, like plague or smallpox or cholera, people used to be thrown into places like a jail. Very unhygienic. No facilities. So people fear, if I am put in quarantine, I'll be in jail. Show them the place. How nice it should be kept, whether it is kept, and how the quarantine facilities are. When they are not very seriously sick, do they get entertainment, newspaper? Because these are all normal people. Many of them are living in elite conditions. Do you give them the TV access, or do they have a Wi-Fi? Can they speak over phone to the family? All these things, make it very, very clear. Let the people think and know that quarantine is not a bad place. They can go and stay for 14 days with all comfort. Good food. So everyone needs food, right? So these things, if we propagate this idea, people will not be scared of quarantine. So all the people who landed or who are landing from the flight from other countries, let them be quarantined immediately. All, whether they show symptoms or not. I think government should take note of it. Because of these few thousand people who had arrived, instead of quarantining these few thousand people, we are trying to quarantine 1.3 billion people. This is not reasonable. No. And there are people, street talkers, daily they sell some tender coconut or some watermelon or making some vada on the road. Only with this money, at the end of the day, they can go and feed their children. If you ask them to stay at home, what they will do? Have we addressed it? This is also important. How many sick people are there? They need medicine. They need to come out. Is there a medicine supply at home ensured for everyone? If someone is suffering or some elderly people are living alone, they need vegetable, milk, they cannot come out. Who is going to take care of them? If you don't want them to come, they usually go on their own and take care of things. Today it's not possible. Yes, there are good Samaritans who do commendable job. True. But we need to do much more is what is my request. I am not trying to find fault why it has not been done, but I am only requesting these things should be noted and we need to do it on the war footing. Hold those few thousand people. For their fault, we all should not suffer. I think every Indian would agree on this. Not on the region, religion or whatever basis. We are all one. We are all suffering. This suffering should not happen. Simply let us not keep talking politics, keep talking rubbish. Let's be sensible in doing things. I hope Prime Minister and the government, central, state, everyone will take a note of it. I want to send this to them also, because I mean something. I am a critic, not a negative critic. I am a positive, constructive critic. I provide ideas. I solve challenges internationally. I am one of the gold solvers with a global entity like Idea Connection. I am an innovator. I had been nominated for National Award with the DST for an indigenous commercialization. Though I have not won in several competitions and other things, I had been prominent, and I also is a resource person for several universities and colleges. Many students know me. Many of the students are living abroad, and many of them have become great professionals in India. So I mean business. I mean something to happen so that we eradicate this corona. My first request is quarantine all those who land, irrespective of whether they show symptom or not. Check all of them. If you have some only few lakhs kit left, doesn't matter. Few thousand kits can be used on them. That is more wiser than keeping these kids and not knowing what to do with maybe 2 million people who will be affected tomorrow. You will not have the kit anyway. So please test them. And already people have landed what to do. You know what to do. They all have come with proper passport. They had visa of that country. Or if they are of Indian origin and they have settled there, and they would have taken the visa here to come. And you have their Aadhaar cards numbered. All documents are there. Go and get them all. If Some of you who have come like that, if you are listening to me, please be sensible. Go and tell the government or the hospitals that you had been abroad and now you have come, you are symptomatic or asymptomatic. Go. I'm not saying go and surrender in a jail or court. It's only a quarantine, 14-15 days. Because of very few of you, the nation should not suffer. This point many would not have thought about, I am bringing. Please get all of them and find out what was their association. If any one of them tests positive, their family members also should be quarantined. If they have a close associate or they worked with some people, quarantine them also. Sometimes some people talk about self-quarantine and all that. Fine. What is the quarantine facility in their house? It has got a HEPA filter. An air-proof system, or properly disinfected. Ethylene oxide daily they fumigate and clean the place. What is that they can do? Self-quarantine in house. I don't believe those arguments of self-quarantine by certain people who had a chance to meet or have close proximity with infected people. Even you also go to, let you be a politician or an actor or whoever you are, very big or small, go to the respective hospitals where quarantine facilities are available. Go and stay there, not in your house. I'm sorry to be very vocal. Thank you, friends, for listening. Let the government authority take note of it. Let's all work together to eradicate this monster. We'll be successful if we are sensible and scientific. Don't propagate unscientific things. Take a couple of cloves of garlic, you will be all right. Chew some neem leaves. Yes, they are all good. You do it for some antibacterial and all that. They are not proved. They are not proved. Without any proof, don't talk. Don't say that, sound can do it, a fasting prayer can do it, mantra can do it, whichever religion, whatever it is. I don't want to buy all this rubbish. Pray to God. Yes, I believe in prayer. Let all of us pray together. No problem. Across the religion, ecumenical fellowships, all that, let it be there. But don't come out and gather. Sit at home and pray. If you want to meet on Skype and pray, okay, or on a VSAT, let's meet and pray. But scientific things are scientific. All medical facts are medical facts. Let us not bring fiction or myth and mix it with the facts, scientific facts. This is another caution. All must proceed. Wash your hands. Not only that, if you have to go out and come back, wash your face with a good soap. Wash your legs. Take the cloths and probably put it for the laundry. Laundry means, at least in your washing machine or whatever way you wash them. These are sensible things we can do. Yes. Thank you very much, friends. Thanks for listening. Signing off, Dr. T. Charles John Bhaskar.